So I'm here really to talk about leading without a title. And I can't think of a better example of leading without a title than Oseola McCarty. She didn't have a title. She wasn't a head of a department. She wasn't a minister. She wasn't a prime minister or president. She was a woman who washed other people's dirty laundry. And she had a choice, because you have a choice every day. You can be a victim or you can be a leader, but you can't do both. And you can tell a victim because they give away their power to get results done to external circumstances and other people. I'll repeat that again. You know that you're behaving like a leader if you give away your power to get things done to external conditions and other people. So she could have been a victim way more than all of us because she grew up in wretched poverty. She lived in absolute adversity, one difficulty after another difficulty over the course of her lifetime. And yet, by the time she passed away at the age of 91, she'd been honored by world leaders. She'd met with prime ministers and presidents. She'd even received an honorary doctorate from Harvard University. So who was this woman, and why did she receive such acclaim? Well, here's her story. Ever since she was a young woman, she would take the coins that she would make washing other people's dirty laundry, and she would go down to her local bank and she'd make these daily, seemingly insignificant contributions. Just like every single one of you in this room, every single day, have the opportunity to make these small, daily, seemingly insignificant contributions. And those contributions, or those little acts of excellence, are so seemingly insignificant, you don't even do them. But small daily improvements, when done consistently over time, lead to world-class results. How do you build an epic life? One day at a time, one act at a time. How was Apple or Instagram or SpaceX or Dubai, that started off as a little pearl fishing village in the desert? One act at a time. And so she would take the money she would accumulate and she would go down to her local bank and make these daily, seemingly insignificant contributions. And the days slipped into weeks. The months slipped into years. Before she knew it, she was 87 years old. One day she walks into her bank and she looks at the teller on the other side of the counter, and he looks at her and he smiles. He says, "Oseola, how are you?" And she said, "Fine." He said, "Oseola, do you have any idea how much money you've accumulated as a result of these little, seemingly insignificant contributions and deposits you've made every day?" And she said, "No, why don't you tell me?" He said, "Oseola, you've accumulated $250,000." He said, "Tell me what you want me to do with it." Well, she was a simple woman. She did not know how much money that was. So the man behind the counter got an idea. He put the 10 coins on the counter, and he said, "Oseola, this is your money. Tell me what you want me to do with it." She pointed to the first coins, and she said, "I want you to give these to my nieces and my nephews because I love them so much." Then she pointed to the remaining coins and said, "I would like you to give these to set up a scholarship for poor African-American students who still know how to dream, who dream of being leaders and astronauts, mothers and poets, firefighters and police officers in a world that has forgotten how to dream." And that act of humanity in a world that also needs serious amounts of humanity touched people around the world. Ted Turner was so impressed. He said, "If an elderly washerwoman could give away all her money, I could certainly give away $1 billion, which is exactly what happened. A reporter tracked down Oseola and said, "This is incredible. You're giving away all of your money. What's your dream?" And she said, "Well, you know, I'm an elderly woman, but I so But I so dearly wish that before I die, I could see the first student walk across the graduation stage. But I know because of my advanced age, that's not going to happen. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, 1 month before she died, the first student walked across the graduation stage. And after Oseola died, another reporter tracked down the student and said, "Did you hear the news? Your benefactor has gone. Oseola has died. Do you have any comment?" And I've never forgotten what the student said. Heaven couldn't have gotten a better angel. She was an inspiration, she was a blessing, and she was a treasure to the entire earth.